lounging, son.
Welcome back to the Comic Lounge. My name is Ryan.
And I'm Manny.
And today we're going to be talking about an extreme 90s comic. We're talking Bloodstrike #1 by Rob Liefeld, Dan Fraga, Eric Stevenson, and Danny Mickey. Super stoked to finally be talking about this on the channel. Before we get into it, I just want to remind everybody to subscribe, hit that bell icon down below, check out some of the dope content on the channel. We have a whole image playlist, 90s comic playlist, which is where this will live once it goes live. So check out all that stuff and yeah, hit that subscribe button. But now let's get into this awesome comic book, which a great era in comic books. I think, I've said it multiple times. This is like shortly after I got into comic books. So I came a little bit late to Image, but it doesn't mean I don't love it just the same as the people that were picking it up off the stands.
Yeah, and I was on the ground floor for this, man. And I was all in on Image Comics and on Extreme Comics. I mean, like I was already like reading Wizard and like paying attention to comics, like culture. So I knew all about this when it was coming out. And like we both did a panel recently at IC3 on 90s comics, and like say what you will, my fandom would not be the same without that period. And for that, I'm always gonna embrace it and love it and talk about it.
Yeah, and it's just weird to even say like an era of comics is bad, because I don't know how you could say from 1990 to 1999 there was no good comic books. Like that's
yeah. So many people shit on it and like be like, oh, horrible. It's like, dude, I mean, all you gotta do is look closely and you're gonna find comics on every level that were fantastic.
Exactly.
I don't know what the fucking
there's comic
is.
books that you may not like what we like, but there's stuff that you could like. And another thing about 90s comics I love, and I was talking about this before I hit record, is the fucking gimmicks, dude. It says rub the blood, and if you rub, I'm not going to do it right now, but if you rub the blood splatter, it disappears. So I don't think I've ever seen this done before, and I definitely didn't happen after, I don't think. But pretty crazy gimmick. I loved the Extreme line. Image,
it was fun, man. Very dynamic, fun comics, and very unlike anything being put out at the time.
And plus, I think at one point it was selling better. Like if you broke up the family titles, I don't know if it was ever #1, but it was definitely beating like Batman. I think at one point the Spider-Man titles.
Yeah, I agree.
I love the design of the characters. We jump straight into meeting Cabot, which I just fucking love his design.
Me too, man.
And I love this panel right here of them propelling, or not, climbing up the rock like help. They're just like scaling a fucking mountain.
Yeah, it's just like fully formed, like it's great.
We meet Foreplay, we meet Deadlock, Tag, right? I think Tag's her name. We got Shogun right there. Climbing up. This is awesome. I think this is like this isn't Dan Fraga's first book that he worked on, because I know he was friends with Liefeld before.
With Rob,
But you can definitely see, like, as I call it the creators, but I didn't say how it breaks down. So Rob's a creator, does the plot, but he's also doing layouts, right?
Yeah,
and
he
then
is.
Fraga's doing the pencils over that, and Danny Mickey's doing the inks, and Stevenson's the script and the editor. But you can, like, look at this. Like, that looks like a Liefeld pose.
It does, man.
And a lot of these like look like something like I could see Liefeld drawing himself. And at times some of the faces in here too.
Yeah.
But it's kind of crazy. Like they're breaking into this compound, right? We don't know anything about this team. And once you start to learn like what the team is, which whatever, this comic's been out for fucking 31 years. Like they're all dead. That's part of the Bloodstrike.
It's a cool concept, man, and like surprisingly, I don't think anything like that had been done, and like it almost takes like the Suicide Squad to like on the next level,
Yeah, and that's why, it's talking about Suicide Squad. There was a Bloodstrike book called by Michelle Fife, Bloodstrike Brutalist, and he is somebody that through his Cobra book, you could see the influence of Suicide Squad. So it's like it came like kind of full circle, right? The way he was
you could see why he would like this title,
Yeah.
and his love for it is genuine too. I mean, he talks about it in the intros and stuff for that book. Like he really loved it at the time, and still does.
Isn't it crazy to think about how many characters Liefeld was creating at this time?
Dude, he was a machine at character creating, like, character after character.
Like to me, the only person that did more in this era, I won't say in general, because Kirby, I think, is probably the king of that, but is Eric Larson. Eric was
Yeah.
also constantly pumping out all these new characters, and like, man, having to design this many new characters and have them differentiated, like, man, that in and of itself is a chore.
And they're both Kirby like like
Diehards.
devotees. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I have always said for both of them, like you can see the Kirby influence in the dynamicism, like you said, the sheer amount of ideas and characters that are spit out at like at the velocity they are. I mean, such a great creative fun time.
Hmm. I love this too, like how they sneak in and they slowly take people out and they just rip them
Yeah,
up. And then another thing that you didn't really see too much in their Marvel work is this is gonna go a little bit more, no pun intended, extreme with the blood and
oh
stuff.
yeah, yeah,
And I love this too. I can just picture them fucking running down the wall in that
yeah, dude.
taking them
It's
out.
almost like Matrix kind of like style shit before
Yeah.
there was.
Take them down quick. We get going again before attracting more attention than necessary. And then this.
Dude, yeah, I
This.
love this spread, man.
Dude,
Fantastic.
yeah.
Like
This is totally Liefeld.
the
You know that, I
yeah,
mean, obviously he laid the book out, but like this is some of the
just like
layouts that I really love about what Rob does.
like the positioning of the characters. It's a very it's great, man. I mean, that would be a great poster, or a great page to own.
Mm-hmm. Taking out all these fucking taking out all these thugs, right? At this compound. And I love Tag's powers too. And the
Yeah,
way they
literally, she's
describe
just
it
free. This paralyzes people.
and the way they call it out, like she doesn't have, or like she doesn't say a word. She doesn't have to, because she's about the closest thing to what they call poetry in motion I've ever seen. She's as swift as she is silent and as deadly as she is beautiful. And then
That's
this,
that.
I'm nowhere
Yeah,
near as graceful. I just take aim, clench my teeth, and let the bodies fall where they may. Dude, I love this stuff, dude, so much.
that narration is great, dude. It's like gritty and like
Yeah.
it's what I love about these comics too is that like they read like the best of like I'm a 90s guy. I grew up watching 90s action movies and like you had your hard boiled like heroes and stuff like that, and this is all pulling from all of that, man.
Yeah.
Like
I think that's what people forget too, man. Like, you're
yeah,
talking about like, oh, the comics were a certain way. Like, dude, people are influenced outside of comic books. And what was
yeah,
super
by other
popular
media. At least
was,
the best creators are gonna be like that, man. You're gonna pull influences from all the pop culture of the time, and that's what I love. One of the things I love about Rob is that he's such an unabashed fan of pop culture in general,
Mhm.
and he's always talking about his love for it on his podcast, and he's always talking about how like he's influenced by movies and music and TV shows, and he throws that all in a blender and is creating these comics, man. Like
Yeah.
he's
I mean, he talks about it like Cable, like part of that was from $6 Million Man,
yeah,
you know?
and fucking Terminator and all these things that like and who want to like I create stuff too, and like I pull from all of that, dude, and I unabashedly be like I'm working on Relic Hunter with Adam, and we're both like, yeah, dude, we're taking shit from Terminator. You know what I mean? Like that's the whole idea behind. Like why hide that? Embrace it.
No, that's
Embrace your influences, man.
exactly, dude. I love this here too. I'm
Really
like,
great layouts.
it
Yeah,
is.
and like
And the
yeah, it's
dialogue,
all
dude.
Rob, dude.
When the
Yeah,
shooting stops, I count 12 men down. Not bad considering I'm just getting warmed up. It's just so good, dude. I just love it. Because I
yeah,
love
I love it.
90s action movies. It's
Me
one of my
too, man.
favorite genres. It is a genre. 90s action, to me, is
Oh, dude, of course, man. You got your John Claude Van Damme, your Steven Seagal movies.
Bruce
Like
Willis.
Bruce Willis. Your Chuck Norris. That's more
Yeah.
80s, but like
And then
your
we
Lethal Weapon.
meet Commander Corbin. Dude, look
That's
at
a
that.
very Liefeld face right there,
That's
too.
Liefeld. It's funny
Yeah.
because like I wonder, like they don't always credit people, right? Like with certain things, like if somebody else inks a page, it's like that issue. I think it's of Spider-Man, right? Where like I think Rob inked a page, Eric inked a page,
Yeah.
Jim
Well,
Lee
he
inked a
talks
page.
about it in this
Yeah,
podcast, how like they would all sit around and like see a page that was exciting. Yo, can I ink that? Like again,
yeah.
I would love to have been in that room. Like a bunch of these dudes just sitting around, you know what I mean? Like in a giant studio, like inking each other's pages, like hyping each other up, like like that sense of camaraderie. And
Mhm.
all of that is gonna be in the DNA of these books.
Yeah,
Like that camaraderie is gonna come out. And that's why I think these books are so like endearing and so energetic, man.
yeah. Then we got Shogun, dude. I love this. Ching, ching,
I
ching,
love
ching, clang, clang,
Shogun.
and you can just, I could hear it, dude, as I'm reading. It's
Yeah,
fucking
like that
awesome.
you got Transformers. He's like talk about extreme. You know, I mean, Shogun is like perfect for the description of it. Dude, that shit is so fucking good. Like what, dude? I mean, I was like what, like 14? Like how 14-year-old me saw that and thought it was one of the most badass things I'd ever seen. Like look at all those fucking machine guns, dude.
Dude,
Like, how is that not awesome?
and I think I was talking. Who was I talking to about it? Oh, I was talking to Christian Misi, aka Misimo. We were talking
Yeah,
about his book Turbo Hawk recently, and talking about like how maybe some of this stuff is geared towards a certain age group, and I'm like, I have no problem putting myself in that
no,
mindset when I'm looking at these comic books because you know what, like some people call it nostalgia. I call it like no, dude, it brings back good memories. I loved it when I was younger. And I can still love it when I'm an adult. I can still love it,
yeah,
10 years from now. I can love it 20
yeah,
years from now. And
correct,
I'm
man. Yeah,
still gonna
it's
enjoy
great.
it, dude. You know what made oh dude, right here.
I love that, dude. Yeah.
I miss the speed lines, dude. We were talking
Oh,
about another comic book, a couple, I love the speed lines. We were talking about it in another episode that we did recently, and I love it, dude. It's to me, it's super effective,
yeah.
I don't mind the blank background, but I really love the speed lines because it just harkens back to that like era. And dude, again, look, the blood splattering as Shogun's just fucking massacring these guys. And then this effect was super weird too.
Man, dude, it's great. I mean, like the it's like that's a GI Joe influence too. I think like all the laser guns flying everywhere. You know, Rob talks about how much he loved GI Joe,
Yeah.
and like if you remember the GI Joe battle scenes, it was just like everybody running around in pure chaos with like laser blasts flying everywhere. It's great,
Yeah, this is fucking awesome. Oh, dude. I love
dude. I love Deadlock.
so do I, dude. It's funny because at certain points it's like obviously there's a Wolverine influence here.
Oh,
But
I mean,
there's certain points where like because those bottom parts of the mask are cut off, if you color that differently, it's Wolverine. But
I don't really care.
no, I don't either. I love it though. It's
Yeah,
like, dude, again, you're wearing your influences on your sleeve. You're not trying to. He's not trying to hide it. Yeah, this fight scene is fucking dope. But yeah, I mean, it's nonstop action. We're meeting all of the crew, right? And then we see this dude fucking Corbin again. Looks like a Liefeld a job on the face.
yeah,
And then it's like you realize that he hired them, right? Like
yeah.
so
Almost,
he's
to give
been
himself clout.
manipulating
You know.
behind the scenes. Dude, his my plan's flawless. Only if I could if only if I failed could you call me insane, and I don't intend to fail. And then he just blasts fucking Cabot and then
I love
realizes
that panel too.
nope, can't kill somebody, it's dead, dude. And then this, dude, dude, this is awesome where he's like, Shogun, take him down. And then he's smiling at him and he gets fucking blasted, dude. This is awesome. I love this part too, right here, where Cabot's like towering over him.
With like those kind of lightsaber sticks. I think one of my favorite panels was coming up.
Yeah, this is awesome too, where he thinks he's about to take Cabot down, right? And Tag
Yeah.
slinks up behind, freezes him, and then this is the panel you're talking
Yes,
about?
that's my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah.
The lettering, like the speed lines, like the fucking blood coming out
Splorch.
of his back. Yeah, dude.
Splorch. Oh, dude.
Splorge,
Uh,
kablam, splorge. You know,
yeah.
like
And then
the silhouette.
the machine gun like making
Yeah, I
that
can almost
sound.
hear it like spinning with like no bullets in it, like the whirring, you know, like
Yeah.
I love chain guns too, man. Ever since Terminator 2, I've been all about the chain guns.
Yeah.
Whenever I play shooters and FPSs, if there's a chain gun, that's my shit.
And then we get a little bit, as we end the issue, they take out fucking Corbin, leaving this puddle of blood. But like, and then we're hearing mention of Supreme. I love this. I love what Cabot says. They're signing people up on the senior citizens plan. Give me a break. Because anybody that knows Supreme knows he's been around for a long time.
Yeah, yeah, he's like Superman of the Extreme Universe.
Yeah. And then we see
What a great comic, bro.
oh, dude, and then we see he's gonna have to go after his brother, which Blood Brothers Prelude is the name as the title of this, and we see that his brother
Battlestone. Yeah,
Battlestone is sitting at the end. We got Brigade sitting in the background, and then it's gonna
yeah,
continue into what's funny though is like that's the second Brigade #1 because there
yeah,
was a mini series that took place before, and then the
and
ongoing comes out
and then
after,
the ongoing, yeah,
and then we got this awesome ad for Trencher, dude.
yeah, dude.
This is something
Trencher's another great one.
got to talk about this soon on the channel too. But I love 90s Image. I love the Extreme universe, so I'm always happy to talk about this stuff. We're gonna talk some more for sure coming up soon.
Yep, 100%, man.
So go pick this up. These are not hard to find. Actually, they might be starting to be hard to find maybe in dollar bins, because I think people of our age are starting to like snatch them up now when they go to dollar bins, because I'm seeing them less and less. Shouldn't be too hard to find. Go pick it up. Check out the rest of the 90s playlist, image playlist we have on the channel as well. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you're notified every time a new vid drops. And on that note, we're out.